I love the new women. I know the new women. They're great, aren't they? You know, the new ones we've been seeing lately. The ones with beards and they're as good as... They're as good as gold. I love them.
Well, with me, ever since I've been hit with the cancel culture a bunch of times, I think twice, but I do it anyway.
Here are 6 times comedians took woke culture, ripped it apart, and left the pieces for the crowd to laugh at. Kicking things off with Veer Das, who delivers a fiery takedown of privilege and performative activism with 0 apologies.
Getting offended is something privileged people do. And we just got privilege last week. It's very exciting. Now in the West, you've had privilege for years. You've taking offense to another level. Like, Americans can get offended on other people's behalf. It's a very American thing. I'm offended for you. What you went through is so stressful, I'm gonna take the day off.
Watching this unfold is like watching someone argue against gravity while standing firmly on the ground. But his next punchline lands even harder, and no one sees it coming.
But in the West, you're very, what's the word? Woke. That's a word I learned, woke. That's the reason I travel, to learn new words. It's not to expand my audience. I'm Indian. My audience is expanding as we speak right now. I asked a college kid, I'm like, what does it mean to be woke? She was like, to be woke means to realize, to recognize, to organize, and then to vocalize. That describes everything from a book club to a Nazi rally, all right? I want to be one of these comedians who can write woke jokes for woke people. I've tried. Do you want to hear them, yeah? Knock, knock. Well, if you need to hear the sound of somebody's voice before you let them into your apartment, what does that say about your elitist privilege, huh?
This is the kind of absurdity that doesn't just make you laugh, it makes you wonder why we're even here in the first place. If you thought Veer Das's critiques of woke absurdity were sharp, wait until you see Sammy Obeid handle a heckler who thought interrupting was a good idea. Spoiler, it wasn't.
It's very important. It's good. What's that?
He said you need to stop picking on people, start doing real jokes.
I'm just going to repeat what he said, and I'm not lying. He said you need to stop picking on people and start telling real jokes.
What?
Now,
why are you applauding yourself?
My brother. Okay, look. I'm a person, you're a person. I'm talking about real majoring in math, did that. Palestinian Jewish roommate, did that. Family from Beirut, did that. This is all real brother. This is all real. This is my life. This is my life. You don't like talking about race? You don't like talking about race? Is that your thing?
It's the cheap way out.
It's the cheap way out, man. Well, you know what? Race is a reality to me, man. And it's a reality to most people. And I'm making light of it. I'm making light of it, brother.
There's a special kind of confidence in interrupting a comedian with a take as flat as week old soda. It's almost impressive, almost. But Sammy doesn't miss a beat, and what follows is pure comedic justice.
Why would the majority of the crowd be booing you? If it's... Did I have a turban? No, I do not have a turban. However, I will say, okay, look, you had a turban growing up, I didn't. Is that what you're saying? I get mistaken for being Indian all the time. And it annoys me too, because there's a difference, bro. People are like, you're Indian. I'm not Indian. You can't just pick any brown person and call us Indian. You're not Columbus. That one's for you. That one's for you.
Dead.
There's nothing wrong with being Indian. All right, you want me to get out?
No,
Can I do one?
no.
One more?
I'm not stopping you. I'm stopping you. You were handled. Let him finish his set. Thank you. But that was a master of work.
Honestly, trying to dictate what's real comedy at a live show is embarrassing for everyone involved, but at least the audience got their money's worth.
I won't pick on anyone. I won't do any more racial jokes, okay? I'm just saying my best friend is Indian, so it's an arranged friendship, and we're very close. And I was born here in Oakland, and I was raised in Fremont. Fremont, it's a lot like Oakland, less urban, more turban, if you know what I mean. And that's, thank you so much. My name is Sammy Obeid. This is real. This is real. Real. Thank you so much.
Some people walk into a comedy show expecting a TED Talk and leave with a lesson in humility instead. But that's just the beginning. Up next, Ricky Gervais dives headfirst into the heated debate on gender pronouns, delivering a brutally honest take that's as hilarious as it is uncomfortable.
Oh, women. Not all women. I mean the old-fashioned ones. You know, the old-fashioned women. Oh, God. You know, the ones with wombs. Oh. Those dinosaurs. No, I love the new women. I know the new women. They're great, aren't they? You know, the new ones we've been seeing lately. The ones with beards and they're as good as... They're as good as gold. I love them.
Few things are as risky as tackling modern pronoun culture, but Ricky Gervais doesn't just take the risk, he doubles down. It's a masterclass in saying what everyone's thinking, but no one dares to say. And just when you think it can't get sharper, Ricky's punchlines hit even closer to home.
No, it's the old-fashioned with it. And now the old-fashioned, they go like, oh, they want to use our toilets. Why shouldn't they use your toilets? For ladies. They are ladies. Look at their pronouns. What about this person that isn't a lady? Well, his her you bigot. What if he me? What if she you? You turf.
When words lose meaning, the punchlines are already built in, leaving the absurdity completely exposed. And trust me, this isn't even the most awkward moment you'll see today. Watch as Gilbert Gottfried tackles cancel culture with his signature fearless style, proving that comedy is at its best when it refuses to back down.
And I'm curious to know how you feel like comedy is going to weather this epoch. Are we going to have comedians who walk on eggshells? Are comedians going to fear the woke mob? Will they be less funny? Will they be less edgy? Or will they look at this as an opportunity to make even more headlines?
Well, with me, ever since I've been hit with the cancel culture a bunch of times, I think twice, but I do it anyway.
Cancel culture's obsession with sanitizing language feels like rearranging deck chairs on a sinking ship. Pointless, performative, and oddly hilarious when you stop to think about it. And it only gets more hilariously uncomfortable from here.
And it's very strange how there are certain words. It always made me laugh when people say, use terms like the F word, the N word, the C word. And I'm thinking, well, when you say those terms, the person hearing it is saying it aloud in their head. So who's it being hidden from?
There's a certain absurdity in censoring words while expecting people not to mentally fill in the blanks. It's like putting up a do not enter sign and leaving the gate wide open. Completely pointless. Just when you thought the conversation couldn't get bolder, cancel culture never sleeps, and neither does Chappelle's razor-sharp wit. What follows is both hilarious and brutally honest.
I want to see if you can guess who it is I'm doing an impression of. All right, let me get into character. You gotta guess who it is, though. Okay, here it goes. Hey, if you do anything wrong in your life, and I find out about it, I'm gonna try to take everything away from you. And I don't care when I find out. Could be today, tomorrow, 15, 20 years from now. If I find out, you're finished. Who's that? That's you. That's what the audience sounds like to me. That's why I don't be coming out doing comedy all the time, because y'all niggas is the worst I've ever tried to entertain in my life.
When outrage becomes this obsessive, it's hard to tell if it's accountability or just desperation. Honestly, this level of overreach would be impressive if it weren't so ridiculous. And now it's time for a reality check. Malik Elassal takes on the ridiculous contradictions of modern woke ideologies with a sharpness that turns the entire conversation on its head.
And that's my therapist, Helen. I've been with Helen for about 4 years. And we get into arguments. Like, I'll fight with Helen because, like, she just tries too much, like, too new age of ideas. It's not practical. This is when I knew, like, I have to find someone else, is when she asked me what my astrological sign was in the middle of a set. Like, my therapist was like, what's your star sign? I was like, Helen, come on. We can't both be mentally ill, you know? It's gotta be... We're just two crazy people yelling at each other now. We don't need to be in an office. She's like, you're an Aries. And I was like, you're good, Helen. You're good. You can stay.
When logic takes a back seat and ego drives the conversation, the result is a car crash you can't look away from.
Because I get angry a lot, so I'm trying to figure out like what's good, what's the right thing to get angry about. Because I'll like, you know, there's stuff that's like not worth it to get angry about. Like it's just, this is when I realized I had to stop doing it. Was when Kyrie Irving got in trouble. When Kyrie got in trouble, that was big. Because he was like my favorite basketball player. He's one of the best basketball players of this generation. And he got in trouble because he shared an anti-Semitic documentary on his Twitter. It was wild. Like he, you know, like in the documentary, like denied the Holocaust. It was like nuts. And like they wanted to kick him out of the NBA, and I agreed. I'm like, this is no place for that. But then I caught myself in the middle of it, and I was like, wait a second, why am I even mad at this guy? A year before this, he said he thought the earth was flat. Like, if a guy tells you that he thinks the earth is flat, don't ask him about the Jews. Like, what are you doing? What did you think he was gonna say?
Sometimes the best way to tackle absurdity is to match it stride for stride. Watching logic and nonsense collide is a spectacle in itself, and Elassal delivers with pinpoint accuracy, and just when you think it couldn't get more ridiculous, the contradictions ramp up to a level you won't believe.
There's no woke flat earthers. There's nobody who's like the earth is flat, but you know, I love everybody on it. We're all doing our best on this frisbee ride in space, man. That's traveling upwards to simulate gravity. We're all doing our best, and we got to pay attention because it's heating up. The disk is heating up. And the water's going to rise. It's going to pour off the sides. We got to be careful. People don't usually double up on causes like that. They're like, the earth is flat and there's too many Filipinos on it, and it's going to tip over if we don't find the edge that the Jews are hiding from us and push the, like, who cares? He's a basketball player. It doesn't.
The collision of these ideas is like watching a train wreck in slow motion. Messy, chaotic, and impossible to look away from. Don't miss our next video, and don't forget to subscribe for more laughs and truth bombs.